Good afternoon. The pleasure is mine.
Thank you so much. Honorable Shadrach Udugbai is the SA on Youth Affairs to Godwin Obaseki, who's the former governor of Edo State, and he's also a staunch member of the PDP. We're talking about your party today, Honorable. There are reports that, with ATIKU, a lot of Nigerians want ATIKU to step down and support Peter Obi ahead of 2027, while others want Jonathan to return and contest in 2027. Now, starting with the talk of ATIKU maybe stepping down for Peter Obi, here's what someone within your party, the PDP, had to say. Demola Olarinwaju, who's the special assistant on digital media strategy to Atiku Abubakar, said if Atiku should withdraw from 2027 presidential race and endorse Obi, that President Bola Tinubu will sweep the north. That is to say, Obi does not have the political clout to sway northern voters. Is this something that you agree with?
Yes, it's something I probably agree with. First, you must acknowledge the fact that Nigerians in general, especially the young generations, will prefer Peter Obi, necessarily because they felt that Atiku, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Buhari, those are men who have been there in the foundation of the Nigerian democracy in this fourth republic. So they wanted someone, even though Peter Obi was a governor in 1999, the first set of the fourth republic, but they felt that, okay, perhaps the man has spoken strongly to a major concern, that is prudence in government. The man has proven beyond reasonable doubt that he has financial prudence and is not known for any form of recklessness or embezzlement, is clean, and the man speaks strongly to major of the issues and is not tribalized, is not cast in that ethnic cone. So it is easy for Nigerians, the young, to aspire for something new, because generally they just want a new paradigm. But why that is also true and relevant, we can't take away the fact that Atiku Abubakar is for what I like it to know, is the second biggest political figure in Nigeria after the sitting president, and he has a base, a statutory base that has proven beyond before now that cover is always with him. Because if perhaps Atiku Abubakar is not running against the Southern president, haven't proven that the Southern president does not have the capacity to profile solutions to the challenges of Nigerian democracy, but he's going to come out bigger, stronger, and better now, even with the death of President Muhammadu Buhari. But that cannot be said for Peter Obi. The 5 states of the southeast are relatively small, do not have the requisite population. I know they stretch also to Lagos and some other prime places where you have Igbos, a major voting bloc who are Igbo population. But you see, the Igbo leaders are mobilizing strongly against their own, which is different from what we are seeing in the north. In the north, they have this idea of wanting to always project their interests first. But there's no governor in the whole southeast, there's no senator, no House of Rep member, no political bigwig who is routing strongly for the candidacy of Peter Obi, seeing him as an Igbo man. So for me, it's a structural problem. Even as much as I know, from the 2023, we were able to pull out good votes, significant amount of votes for Peter Obi, but the votes were not so much in numbers that we're going to tilt the scale, make any remarkable contributions. He got votes from other states, better than other states like Lagos, Edo, better than he got in those southeastern states. So for me, that assertion is true. So what we are hoping in the ADC is that the ADC is going to give a fine combination of Atiku and Peter Obi, and that to a large extent will unite the opposition voices. Because those in the north will see that at least their son, Atiku Abubakar, is on the ticket. The man has the competence, the man has the character, the man has the experience, he has the political clout. I know there are many allegations against him. Many people have paid that falsehood against his personality. All of those will be resolved before the election. And Peter Obi behind him gives the Igbo a shot at having a vice presidential candidate for the first time since the return of democracy in 1999. They've never been vice president, they've not been president.
You are supporting
and if Peter Obi should run with that school,
like it was in 2019.
The power will return back to the south. And we go down to the southeast after Atiku Abubakar completes his own tenure as president.
Honorable Shadrach, you are supporting an Atiku Obi ticket like for president and vice president as he was in the 2019 elections.
Very well. I see that as a winning ticket that will send Atiku, that will send Bola Ahmed Tinubu back to Babylon crying.
Recently, a chieftain of the PDP came out to say that they have strong people within the party that they can present as a presidential candidate in 2027. He mentioned Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde and some other governors and ex-governors within the PDP. Now that Atiku has left, some people believe right now that the PDP is a carcass. In fact, it is just a skeletal frame that is finding it so difficult to stand, as the people who made the party strong, who gave the party that political clout, are no longer a part of it. What do you say to that?
Yes, I strongly identify with it, in as much as the damages are They are structural, but they are more of integrity question than structural. Because today now nobody now believes in the integrity and the sanctity of the People's Democratic Party as a viable opposition against Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Because on different occasions we've seen leaders and masters within the political bloc come out in public domain to endorse Tinubu. Wike has come out to say it's Wike, it's Tinubu 2027. The governor of the former governor of the Benue State, Autumn, came out and said yes, it's Tinubu 2027. Sheyi Makinde to a large extent had positioned himself in that line before he came out to say he wanted to run. We've seen Ayodele Fayose come out with PDP cap in an APC rally to say yes, we are heading for Tinubu in 2027. We seen from Osun State, Adeleke from Osun State, come out the public domain to say yes, he is routing and supporting Tinubu. So on what basis will the leaders and masters of a particular party come to endorse their political rival and still want to present a candidate to challenge him? What they are doing now is they are trying to split the opposition forces because they know, many of them know within the rank and file of the party that no one wants to be used as a cannon for. They're not looking for who they will bring from external. That's why they are shopping for Obi. That's why they are shopping for Jonathan. They are shopping for these two persons.
Oh wait, are you confirming to us, Honorable Shadrach Udugbai, are you confirming to us that the PDP are in talks with Obi and Jonathan? Because we're getting reports that the PDP is facing fresh internal divisions as the leaders of the party are split on whether to field former President Goodluck Jonathan and Peter Obi or Oyo State Governor Sheyi Makinde as its presidential candidate for 2027 elections. So who exactly is the PDP talking to? Can you confirm to us as a chieftain of the party?
The PDP does not have those options. They only have Sheyi Makinde, and Sheyi Makinde is trying to hold still for them just to ensure that the ticket looks attractive. Because people are not scrambling for it. He sends a wrong message to persons who may like to use the ticket. When they first of all came and in their meeting and they said they sold their ticket to the south, and Peter Obi should come and pick it up. Peter Obi knows that the minute he picks up that ticket, they will use him and the obedient to endorse Tinubu in the wake of the 2027 general election. And so when they saw that Peter Obi was not responding favorably to their demand, they quickly went to start rallying around Jonathan, believing that when Jonathan steps into the way, Peter Obi will want to likely come.
So what is Jonathan saying? If the PDP leaders are talking to him, what is Jonathan saying? What's his body language like?
But Jonathan has said nothing. There's nothing within his clothes. They are just trying to find the man's popularity. The man is not interested. He knows what the People's Democratic Party stands for. He has seen the recklessness of integrity within the system, and he's not going to fall for that. They just want to heighten the desperation to make the ticket look attractive. Jonathan will not fall for that gimmick. He doesn't have the resources to squander the national election in a platform where the leaders are going to openly endorse the enemy. So he's not going to fall for that. And then Jonathan, for me, does not even have the requisite political balls to fight Tinubu, because Tinubu has shown some high level of political desperation, and then Jonathan will not be caught in that crossfire. So we need somebody who has the class and the capacity. And then it's easier, far way easier for you to unseat a failed Southern president with a Northern president. So the idea of this issue of Shadrach, why will you a Southern voice be supporting a Northern candidate? I've told them repeatedly, when Obasanjo did 8 years, he handed power to Musa Yar'Adua. Musa Yar'Adua did 2 years and died. Then Goodluck Jonathan completed 2 years. He came back and ran for president and did 4 years. If you do the math well, the South at that point in time had done 16 years of presidency. Why did not have done only 2 years? Goodluck Jonathan came back in an attempt to run again for his second term. And I, Shedrack Udugbai, went to the poll and I voted for Goodluck Jonathan. What I did was endorsing a Southern presidency for how long? For straight almost 20 years. I endorsed 18 years South as against a 2-year Northern term. If I could do that as a Southerner with all conscience with me, well, when that stops me from endorsing a Northern candidate now, when I know the Southern candidate is nothing but a clear definition of failure. So what exactly are we raving about?
So you're saying you are overlooking this whole northern-south rotation thing. Whoever can do the job should step up.
I said there is nothing since Bola Ahmed Tinubu became president. There is nothing I have gotten as a Southerner.
Honorable Shadrach Udugbai, you're a member of the PDP. ATIKU is no longer a member of the PDP. Will you still support him in 2027?
No, it's just that I officially have not declared for the ADC. I'm trying to mobilize more power to remaining.
Oh, but you're on your way to doing that. You're saying you are jumping ship.
No, we had a by-election in Edo State and we fielded the candidates in the People's Democratic Party. We kept faith with him, believing that perhaps we should complete the cycle before we now decide exactly where we are heading to. 2027 we see far away. So we are trying to put our house in order. We are doing extensive constitution. And also looking at the People's Democratic Party, the moves they will present and the antics. When we are looking at the ADC, how managed, because we speak for me, I'm in the opposition. Whether it's ADC, whether it's PDP, the position remains, and the task at hand is removing Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the clueless governor gave us in Edo State and ensuring that we put in a new air of fresh air into our democratic space. That for me is what I'm fighting for. It doesn't matter the platform, whether it's PDP or ADC, I'm in the opposition.
All right, you are in the opposition, but you've not declared for the ADC yet. You're still a member of the PDP. It was recently, about 2 months ago, when the Edo State Governor, Monday Okwebolo, came out to say, oh, Peter Obi should not visit the state without letting him know. We saw the APC chairman in that state, Jato, coming out to say he hates Peter Obi, and anyone who's a member of the ADC in Edo State should leave the state, as PDP is the only opposition that they recognize in Edo. Would you say this is because the PDP has fallen so flat that the APC in Edo feels that it's always going to be a walkover whenever there are elections? Also, some Nigerians believe that the conduct of the by-elections and how the APC swept in so many constituencies is harbinger, is showing how 2027 will be.
Yes, I know, but that is a great delusion for them, because what Monday Okwebolo did was this. The question I asked them, they did the by-election, there was mass deployment of violence, there were intimidation. Okwebolo started by locking down the businesses and shops, landed properties of persons within the state who were members of the opposition. The only National Assembly member we had was intimidated and bullied to submission, and eventually had to decamp to the APC on the promise that we get a return ticket. Many of our members are under suffering. When they came into power, there was mass deployment of violence. They went to our state secretariat, they drove the party state chairman to the secretariat and said the secretariat was theirs. But because we in Edo State understand clearly that there's no need for us to match violence with violence, because when the two elephants fight in the ground that we suffer, we decide to relax and take the back seats and ensure that, because we know that illegality cannot stay in the front row forever. What happened yesterday, last Saturday, was just a reflection of the desperation of Monday Okwebolo and the cohort in the All Progressive Congress, because we know the characters and what they are positioned to bring out, to turn out. Monday Okwebolo was rejected in Edo Central while he was a sitting senator and wanted to run for governor. He was a sitting senator and a governorship candidate, but yet the people of Edo Central voted overwhelmingly for Aswe Godanu. Now to tell you that the man was rejected, and he still bears that pangs of rejection in the system. The candidate of the deputy governor, Dennis Idahosa, was also rejected in Ovia. Aswe Godanu won those two local governments that makes up the Ovia Federal constituency, and that's to tell you where they are coming from. Then they now have to deploy tactics of rigging, high machination rigging in other local governments to ensure that they are able to gather, to rig out votes that got them into office. Even when Monday was giving his speech on Sunday, after he welcomed the two national House of Assembly members that were elected, the one for Edo Central, the one for Ovia Federal constituency, he said that this 2027 election is just a test to show that the APC is being accepted in Edo, that the people say they stole their mandates, that they stole their election, but he has told that the people are trying to vote with them. After the courts, he won, he was declared. He went to Tribunal, he went to appeal, he went to Supreme Court and got 3/3. And yet in his heart, he still knew that the people had rejected him in 2024. He had to now wait for 2025 to deploy violence and the state infrastructure, the securities of the state infrastructure to intimidate voters and rig election recklessly. Let me tell you, in Edo Central has never produced a vote above 65,000 votes since the return of democracy in 1999. They have never gotten up to 70,000. Guess how many the APC scored in that election? APC alone scored 105,000. Put together, the total vote count in the election was over 120,000. That is times 2. And this is a fair election where we know that low turnout of votes was occasioned by low turnout of votes. But they went in there and they rigged recklessly.
With all of this, how is the PDP prepared for the next election, for the by-election in certain states coming up in November? For election in certain states coming up in November, like in Anambra, there will be a governorship election in November. Is the PDP prepared for that? Ahead of 2027 as well. You said earlier that 2027 is still far away. Many Nigerians do not believe so, especially as continuous voter registration began on INEC's website yesterday. Nigerians are gearing up. How is the PDP preparing? Are they sitting down and waiting to see what other parties are doing before they also make a move?
The People's Democratic Party, to a large extent, we are still preparing, because when I say people, I'm talking about the people. I don't necessarily
those calling another presidential candidate from another religion for 2027 election are either Igbo haters or Peter Obi's haters, or elect reaping from vow. Nigeria are going through a lot. Are going through a lot though. If you're outside country, you don't know what God has done for you. And this person said, stop saying Nigeria needs Jonathan. Just say you are a person, need him. Jonathan was a pass failure or package and rebrand for the present, because Both Buhari and Tinubu did not live up to the expectation. When those who are alive fell, you remember the dead. You are correct. You nailed it direct. And the response was that you nailed it direct. Okashe drag instead of Peter Obi to deportize Atiku, let them go desperate separately and divided the vote so Tinubu can continue. Atiku will be 81 in 2027. You guys are talking trash. All these Atiku boys are so deep in location. Where is the Atiku food coming from? He has no best, not to talk of food. Atiku and his boys should keep sleeping. The analyze is being delusional. Atiku's food was PDP organic supporters food. Atiku left PDP, so where is he going to get food? Obi is better than Jonathan. Good luck. Point of correction, you guys are greedy, are the ones splitting